Zankou is an incantation DPS whose damage revolves around her enhanced mode and ultimates. The first thing that you will need to understand is her hunt buff. You'll activate it by performing her 5th basic attack while in reality, which gives Zankou a 25% damage boost. Once she enters her enhanced illusion mode, her damage increases significantly. This is where she can apply Heart Wrench, a DOT that stacks up to 10 times. She can also group enemies together and spread Heart Wrench between them. And on top of that, whenever Zankou receives a buff from her teammates, she gains Delusion, increasing the dot crit damage that enemies take by 15%. Zankou also has 2 ultimates, and you want to use both of them for maximum damage. To access the second ultimate, you only need to perform her enhanced skill once during the rotation. With the mechanics out of the way, let's look at her actual rotation. For this showcase, we will show a Zankou hyper carry rotation. For the rotation, you're gonna start with Zankou holding her basic attack, and then using her enhanced skill, swap to Daffodil for her ultimate, and Sakiri for her ultimate as well. Then swap to Iroi for her ultimate, and skill, and then hold her basic attack. Swap to Daffodil for Phantom Step, and then use her skill. After that, you're gonna hold basic attack on Zankou, then use her enhanced skill, then keep spamming basic attack, and then another enhanced skill. Use your first ultimate after the enhanced skill, swap to Daffodil again for Phantom Step, and then go back to Zankou. Immediately use your second ultimate on Zankou, and then hold basic attack and enhanced skill, keep spamming basic attack and another enhanced skill, as we're getting the outro ready. Now swap to Sakiri for her skill and an ultimate, and go to Daffodil and use her ultimate, then swap to Zankou. Zankou immediately outros the Iroi for Hexed. Iroi then follows up with an ultimate, and then skill and another hold basic attack. Then it kinda loops from here where Daffodil uses her Phantom Step by swapping in and then using her skill. The rotation is fairly straightforward and it's not necessarily hard to execute, and the break damage can be surprisingly high, especially with higher investment on Daffodil and Awakening 5 Zankou. And furthermore, break also provides some additional survivability since breaking an enemy can temporarily stun them, giving you a safer window to deal damage. Now that we know how to play her, let's move on to the most important part of any DPS build, her weapon. Zankou's signature arc, Ravenous Blade, is her best option. It provides 24% crit rate, while the passive can further increase the crit rate by 16% and increase her crit damage up to 63% simply by just dealing incantation damage. If you don't have her signature, the R5 Battle Pass arc, Fluff of Finesse, is her next best option. After performing 3 perfect dodges, it can provide up to 43.2% increased damage, reaching around 84.4% of the damage of her signature at R1. For a completely free-to-play option, Watch Your Head's R5 works well as a stat stick. It provides crit damage through its secondary stat, and an additional 18% attack from its passive, reaching around 72% of the damage of her signature at R1. As for her console, Crimson Twin Butterflies is her best option. For stats, prioritize double crit on the main stat, or substats go with crit damage, crit rate, over break intensity, over attack percent, and over flat attack. With her weapon and console covered, let's move on to teammates that can bring out her full potential. There are currently 2 main teams built around Zankou. One of them we have covered earlier, which is the Hypercarry Break team, comprised of Zankou, Daffodil, Sakiri, and Iroi. The excellent break mechanic synergy between Daffodil and Zankou makes this team particularly useful at high difficulty content where you have a high pressure in surviving or when enemies are frequently attacking. The other team that I got is a double DPS team with Zankou, Lacrimosa, Sakiri, and Iroi. The team is quite swap heavy, but Lacrimosa does provide another strong dot through Nightmare, while also giving Zankou an additional buff stack to improve the team's scorch damage. So if you want to focus purely on Zankou, go with the Hypercarry setup. If you prefer having 2 strong DPS characters and less DPS downtime, then the double DPS team is a great alternative. Now let's talk whether Zankou is actually worth additionally investing in. If you're planning to invest in Zankou, I prioritize Awakening 1 and Awakening 5. Awakening 1 allows Zankou to have both Hunt and Delusion active at all times without any requirements to activate, while also improving both buff effects. while Awakening 5 significantly improves break damage and instantly deletes toughness bars by damaging enemies with her enhanced skill to bring any enemy attacks to a halt. So overall, should you pull for Zankou? Well, if you're looking for a strong incantation hypercarry with high damage and a relatively simple rotation, Zankou is definitely worth considering, especially for a character that doesn't rely on the MC. Her initial setup only takes a tiny bit of time, and her damage output is very strong, giving her another way to control difficult enemies while dealing damage. So what do you think about Zankou? Are you pulling for her, skipping her for future characters, or have you already added her to your team? Let me know in the comments below, and if this guide helped you out, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.